Hey guys, so welcome to Chat with KST. It's your girl Kay, and today we are going to be talking celebrities and the different controversies that they've been going through recently. So, first up, let's start with Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian claims that she basically protects her kids from the public scrutiny that happens with Kanye West, everything that's happening with Kanye. She says, look, my kids don't know about that. I keep that from them. She says, like, if basically, like, let's say they want to listen to his music, she'll allow them to do that without any problem. Now, for me, some people would say, hey, like, why not just open your kids up to the truth so that they won't live a lie? But for me, I feel like it is the best thing because sometimes kids can't handle it. So if you do have the money and the resources to ensure that your children are protected in a certain way, and you have the emotional stability to basically maintain a healthy relationship or even just a healthy connection or perception of your child's father with your children, I think you should. If you can do it, do it. I won't bash her for doing it. It's a very hard thing to do, but congrats to her. um Many people do it. It's probably not something that I would do, but I commend and applaud and wish I could be like her. But nonetheless, let's get into some congratulations. We first want to say congrats to Kelsey. Kelsey Nicole is basically Megan Thee Stallion's ex-best friend. So the ex-best friend recently got married. Well, not want to say she recently got married, but we recently found out that she was actually married. So congrats to her on that. And Juju, who is Cameron's ex-girl, recently posted that she was pregnant. And she looks pretty big. So congrats to Juju on that. Good luck with the baby. Now, let's jump into some politics, right? So Texas governor sends migrants in buses near Kamala Harris's home in DC. Ooh, Governor Greg is messy. Messy. But if we're gonna talk about these buses with migrants coming, I live in New York City and I hear people say it all the time, like they'll see the buses with the people and they'll just get dropped off. And when they get dropped off with nowhere to go, no food, no nothing. I've never seen it personally, but living in NYC, I hear about the buses where where they're being dropped off. So basically, the Texas governor, Greg, sent 3 buses over by Kamala Harris's house, near her house in DC, and was like, look, these people, they're coming to your city, your town, coming to a city near you, okay? So basically, they dropped them off by Kamala Harris's house, and not at her home, of course, but near her home. I feel like he's trying to send a message. I feel like at the end of the day, I can't say, oh my God, like this is such a bad thing that is happening to Kamala Harris, because at the end of the day, like I said, I live in New York City and I hear about those buses. The governor down there, he's not playing. He's like, look, we can't keep the migrants, so we have to spread them out throughout the entire United States. I feel like for purposes of family, I just hope the families are like sticking together. I don't think that is what's happening. I hope so, but I hope families are able to stick together. When they come from these different places and whatnot. And I don't know what to say about this, because at the end of the day, it's like, you understand both sides. You understand the side that is like, look, we have to be able to help people, and like the political sides I'm talking. You have to help people, people who are in need and stuff like that. When it comes to our country, we gotta help them. And I also understand the other political stance that, hey, like, you want to help everybody else, but we kind of need help in the United States of America. So who are we going to be helping? But nonetheless, that's what happened with Miss Kamala Harris, all right, recently. Now, what I wanted to do is jump into something that Brittany Renner had recently said. One second, let me play it for you guys.
How I allowed myself to just be like used up by men. And that came from a lack of self-worth. I did not understand my value that I was born with. I didn't. And I gave, again, people look at sex differently, but sex is spiritual unification. At the end, they don't care how you spin it. It's spiritual.
For women.
Okay,
for women.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, for women. It's spiritual unification. And people that I've shared my body with, when I think about my list, it's repulsive because they didn't deserve it. But that was an outcome of me discounting my worth. And it's disgusting. I hate even having that spiritual tie in any type of way. But yeah, I would absolutely change sexually how I move around. And not even necessarily because of like the societal outcome. It's more so.
All right. And that was Brittany Renner. She's basically saying, look, like, my history, my past, the way how I was giving it up out here in these streets, it's not the way to go. It's not the way to be. It has impacted me negatively. She didn't say these words verbatim, but I'm just kind of telling you what I've gathered from what I just heard. Basically, she's saying, look, the way how I was carrying myself, it wasn't the way to move, and it does have its bad things, its cons attached to it. I personally feel my opinion on this is like, it's life. It's all a part of life. We all go through it. I think we call it, like, some people call it like the whole phase or whatever, but it's all a part of life where there's one point where you're like, hey, I want to live it up. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to jump on that. I want to go over here. I want to go. And then after, when you've matured, you're like, wait. Should I have done that? Should I have been a part of that? Should I give my body away in those kind of ways? I just feel like at the end of the day, it is something that is natural in terms of it happening. Now your lesson is learned and you know not to make those mistakes. And you're also an example for the other ladies coming up and like, oh, hey, you know what? Brittany Renner said that she shouldn't have done that, so maybe I shouldn't do that. But don't be hard on yourself. We all go through it. I think for her, what sucks for her is that we saw her public whole face. Like, we saw the whole face of her publicly. Whereas other people, they get to experience that privately. But nonetheless, let's jump into Orlando. Yo, can this man stay out of trouble? Like, can he stay out of trouble? Orlando Brown, like, can he stay out of trouble? Sheesh, like, just when you thought, hey, you know what, he's no longer doing the drugs, he's no longer into whatever he's been into for the past couple of years, and let me just base my opinion in the fact that I understand his history, and I understand that people who are kids who are raised in Hollywood are raised in a very, very different society than I have been raised in, and raised amongst a lot of other things that will never ever I'll never experience. But so I won't discredit his experiences and say, hey, like, he didn't have a bad upbringing, because I hear about the rumors of the Hollywood kids, like how Hollywood basically destroy these children before they're even able to make it to adulthood. Like, they literally have no childhood and all of that. So I understand all of that. Trust me, I get it. I get Orlando Brown not having been able to have a childhood, not being able to have certain things. So him then venturing off into drugs and and all of that. But I remember a couple weeks ago, I remember exactly how long ago it was. He came out, he was just like, look, I'm clean now. I'm not being bad. I'm not doing all the things that I was doing before. And just a few weeks later, after him saying those things, here he is, yet again, arrested for domestic violence. Now, I've said everything I've had to say about him growing up in Hollywood. Let's talk about the domestic violence. Domestic violence is not cool. Nuh-uh. No way. Domestic violence is not something that I'm going to accept because you were raised in Hollywood. I don't care where you were raised. There are people who were raised in the hood, people who were raised in Hollywood. You don't put your hands on nobody else's child. Don't do it. So yeah, he was arrested for domestic violence. So good luck to him. We'll see what he has to basically come up. What's next for him when we see him again. But nonetheless, let's jump into something a little bit more spicy. We're talking EJ. Now, who is EJ? Let me give you guys a little bit of backstory about this next topic that we're going to be talking about, because I think context is important, especially if you haven't been keeping up with Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, and EJ. So basically, EJ is Megan Thee Stallion's hairstylist. Now, many of us know that, there have been this long drawn out case between Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. Being that EJ was Megan Thee Stallion's hairstylist, who was also present for the party that occurred where she was shot in the foot later on that night, he had to come to court to testify. Now, so with that context being given there, he went to court and testified. I heard feedback from his court testimony that, hey, like, he was credible, he was respectful, he was all the folds out there, right? Respectful, incredible, all of that, right? So nonetheless, let's jump into it. After that, EJ, I guess outside of the courthouse, there are people out there, there's press out there, a couple of people who are covering the case, and they were asking him. He basically posted this reel, and this is the song that he had behind it. Let me play it for you guys real quick. All right, so that song from Law and Order. We all know Law and Order, SVU. When that song come on, we know the deal, right? They've had like 22 seasons. They've had some crazy number of seasons, so we all kind of already know what the deal is when that song come on. He said, "Hey, look, I'm under his caption. Hold on." Oops, I didn't want to play that again, but he captioned it and he said, "My day in court was exhausting, but it's over and done with. Speak your truth and leave it there." Now, people was just like, look, why is he doing a whole press conference outside of the courthouse? Because you see all the different camera people, you see EJ standing there in front of the cameras, like if they have questions, he would have answered it. I don't know, so let me not say that, but the position that he was in was as if he was giving them. So basically, let me paint a picture for you guys real quick, right? Let me tell you guys what it's been like in the courtroom, in the courthouse for the trial. Let me describe it for you guys. Now, I've been watching the videos on social media, and basically when Kelsey comes in and out the court, she goes in with a security guard, she's out. When Tory Lanez goes into court with a security guard, the press is there, but he goes in and he's out. When anyone else that goes to the courthouse, when Megan Thee Stallion went up there and they recorded her, they had, sorry about the noise, sorry about the noise, guys, but when Megan Thee Stallion, sorry about that, guys, but when Megan Thee Stallion, sorry, but nonetheless, when Megan Thee Stallion had went, Okay, so I guess we got some unruly kids in the house. But nonetheless, those are my neighbors. Sorry about the noise if you hear it. But nonetheless, like I was saying, when Megan Thee Stallion went to the courthouse, she was in and out. But for EJ, when in his courthouse experience, he was basically he went in, but when he came out, he didn't immediately leave. He stayed for the press, like, like a press conference, like, like kind of like that kind of vibe. But everyone is like, EJ, but you're not even on trial. Like, why are you out there like that? So this is what he had to say. He was like, look, live your truth boldly. Others may decide to think less of you, but it isn't your job to prove your worth. It is your job to live knowing your worth. Your worth can never be defined by another person's assumptions. You are strong. You are brave. You are worthy. You are enough. Hold your head high. Be proud. Carry on. So he was basically saying, like, like, know your worth, basically not let these people trip you up. But he also had posted another video. Let me play it for you guys here.
Just real quick before I jump on my flight, I've been seeing these comments about the song I put over my post. To know me is I put music over everything, every video, every post. If it fits the moment, I'll find a song to fit. That's just something I do. I don't need to poke fun at anybody else's pain or trauma or make a joke. Like, I was subpoenaed to come to court. I know this is a very serious situation, but it was my day in court. That's how I felt. I didn't say any names. I didn't make any references. I didn't do nothing of the sort. When people talk about, oh, you treated court like a fashion show, I treated court like a public thing that was going to be seen by the public, so I would never look crazy. I liked my outfit. I liked how I looked. Clearly, the people in court liked how I looked. That's something that I can't control, but I don't need to poke fun or be insensitive to anybody else's situation. That's y'all being insensitive. That ain't me, but I'm clearing up just because I want to touch on it.
So basically, what he said was, look, remember the song that I just played for you guys, the SVU Law and Order song? He was just like, look, I always put songs over my images. I always put songs over my videos. And actually, it wasn't a reel, it was a video. Let me correct myself. I stand corrected. But he basically had put the Law and Order song over the video and whatever. He's like, look, if you know me, then I put songs over my videos all the time that fits the situation, so it shouldn't have been a thing. Now, I want to jump into the next topic, but before I do, what I want us to talk about real quick is, can I find it? If I can't find it, then it is what it is. It is not that big of a deal. I kind of wanted to jump into it, but if I can't find it, then that's fine, because Roland Ray had something to say, like along the lines of, EJ was basically acting like it was he was the one that was on trial, when it wasn't that case. You know what? I can't find it, but nonetheless, let me give you guys a synopsis of what happened. So basically, Roland Ray, for those of you who know, Roland Ray was just like, he was just like, oh, like, EJ's acting like it's he's the one that got shot. Like, sit down, like, you don't have to do all of this. And EJ also responded to him. I wanted to play EJ's response, but nonetheless, EJ was just getting backlash of the video that he posted after court. So that's what happened with EJ. Now, in my opinion, you're supposed to go to public places dressed to a T. Now, do I follow my own advice? Maybe not, if I'm feeling very lazy. But do I feel like you should always be dressed to the T? Absolutely. I feel like your presentation matters, because that's the first thing that people see before you speak. So you want to look good and present yourself good, especially if you're going into a space like that. So I feel like EJ was definitely correct. As for the press conference setup that he had afterwards, I probably wouldn't have stayed and taken photos and stuff like that, because I feel like it's not good. It looks like a photo op, and you don't want it to look like that, right? Especially given that it's a trial for Megan Thee Stallion getting shot, Victoria. I don't feel like what we need is it look like a photo op. If it was like basically the BET Awards or something like that, okay, yeah. Stand, take your pictures, whatever, answer questions, but don't make it look like a photo op when we're dealing with a situation this serious. But nonetheless, EJ's going to do what he wants to do. So we're going to move on. And you know what? Since we are on the topic of Megan Thee Stallion Tory Lanez, let's jump into what Partisan Fontaine had to say. So for those of you who don't know, Partisan Fontaine is aka Party is Megan Thee Stallion's boyfriend. I love them together, by the way. But let's jump into what Party had to say. So what he had to say was basically, if any woman, especially ones of color, that has suffered an injustice. Sorry, let me start over. He says, to any woman, especially ones of color, that have suffered an injustice, I feel for you. When you do find the courage to speak up, it seems you will be ridiculed. Your credibility will be questioned. Your entire past will be held under a magnifying glass. If in an instant you can go from victim to defendant in the eyes of the public. To anyone with a daughter, sister, mother, niece, or aunt, I pray for their protection. I pray for their covering. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. So basically what Party is saying is, look. Like, to anybody who's going through what my girl Megan Thee Stallion had to go through, like all hands to you. Because when you do stand out, it's like you're going to receive public scrutiny, people bashing you. When you do speak out for yourself after you've experienced some heinous shit, people come for you. And it's like, why are you coming for me? You know what I mean? But nonetheless, that's what Party had to say. I feel like I agree with him. I feel like, especially women of color, when we do speak out, we are not believed. And let me not even say women of color. Let me keep it straight, funky. Black women, African Americans. You know, when we speak out, yeah, it's different. All right, but let's move on. Let's move on to, who are we going to move on to next? We're going to talk about London on the Track and his baby mother, Ebony. Now, they have had a crazy run with the media in terms of him. 1 minute, it's like, oh, you know, not even him, just her. Like her when he was dating Summer Walker in social media. I'm holding my head right now because I'm so stressed about it. Like, girl was in social media. And you would think that when London on the Track, let me introduce Ebony for those of you who don't know. Let me backtrack a little bit. Ebony is London on the Track baby mother. Right? And Summer was his girlfriend following her. Now, Summer and London broke up. You would think that, okay, well, you know what? Ebony would move on and like leave this man alone. No, he's dating Shenseea and she is back in the blogs harassing Shenseea. There's been accusations made. We're not going to jump into those accusations today. But all in all, London on the Track was like, no. Ebony, you're not going to play with me no more. You played with me with Summer, and you're playing with me, Shenseea. We're not going to play. What he did was he went and he officially got documents filed so that he can get full custody of his daughter, saying that that the mother of the child is emotionally and mentally damaging their child. Now, I have to say, with everything that's been going on in social media lately, Ebony, you're not looking too good. And the reason you're not looking too good is because you put your child on blast. You put your child business out there. You know what I mean? So for me, I just feel like, look, Ebony is going to have to I haven't seen her posted anything recently, because normally she'll post things about Shenseea and her son and this and the third. since this happened on December the 20th, she been quiet. I don't know if it's because it's Christmas or what, but she been pretty quiet. So you know what? Let's go into the New Year's hoping that she would stay quiet. Now, Diddy. Carisha. What is going on with these two? What is going on with Carisha and Diddy? So I see that Diddy apparently has a newborn child, which is fine. Look, you're damn near a billionaire. Do whatever you want. But now I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like women are coming up left, right, and center. He's liking pictures. He's kissing this one. He's spotted out with this one, but he's supposed to be attached to Carisha. When people make accusations like, Carisha, you're only a side chick, know your position. He defends her and say, hey, you know what? Carisha is not a side chick. I am with now he didn't say I'm with Carisha. He says Carisha's not a side chick. And then back in the blogs, he's with yet another woman. Now, I'm going to say this, right? I don't think I should, but I'm going to. And what I'm going to say is, I feel like a lot of the things in media, in social media, is nothing but a setup, a plot, and all of that stuff. So, with that being said, I feel like Diddy is aware of the rumors that were going on about him being potentially bisexual, gay, or whatever rumors were sparked, whenever they were sparked, however they came up. I know I've heard them. I'm pretty sure you've heard them as well. And I feel like Diddy's trying to do this new rebranding thing where he's trying to separate that rumor. Like, he's trying to separate himself from that rumor as bad as he could to kind of regain whatever it is, because we all know, being a black person, if you're a black man and you're gay in the industry, people might not want to support you, or like it gets really sticky, which is why I said I shouldn't have probably said this, but I'm gonna just finish my my thought here and say, I feel like because he knows the rumors are there, he's overcompensating by being with all these different women, including Carisha, and being so overtly like, how do paparazzi know that you're gonna be with all these women at the same time, at the time that you're with them, at the place that you're with them, each and every one, all in the span of 1 week? It was like 3-4 girls that you were spotted with, plus a child, all in 1 week. Like, Diddy, it's not making sense to me, but those are just my thoughts. Let me put them back under let me put them back in my head, because at the end of the day, we don't want no smoke with Diddy, okay? But nonetheless, he's out here. We don't know what Diddy and Carisha are at this point. They're there along with the women and another child. So now that we have that out the way, let's jump into Nick Cannon. Oh, another congratulations that are in order is that Nick Cannon recently, sorry about that. Nick Cannon recently had his another child. Congrats to him. We're not gonna jump into that one. I think we've gotten so, let's jump into it. I think we've gotten so used to Nick Cannon having children at this point, and I can't even believe I'm saying that we don't even, it's like, oh, another one, okay, no problem. He's dropping the kids like their songs at this point, so when we see them, it's like, oh, it's another one, all right, no problem, moving on. So the same way how Nick Cannon is moving on, the same way I'm gonna be moving on. Now, this Young Thug YSL trial, I don't know. Let me be clear. All I know is that everybody's snitching. And with that being said, good luck to Young Thug. Good luck. I feel like I've seen one video where there wasn't someone snitching, taking a plea deal. So, yeah, Young Thugger, Good luck to you. Our last story is going to be two stories. No, last one. Gervonta. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was basically arrested for domestic abuse. I feel like he did it. He's known for it. He has a track record for it. So he's done it. And that's that. But with that being said, I love you guys and we'll definitely chat next time. Laters.